Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to get you smart, fast, on topics that really matter. Today we're heading into Tokyo, but maybe somewhere a bit off the beaten path for many visitors. We're exploring Kitasenju. It's this fascinating district that somehow manages to feel both frozen in time and totally alive today. You know, echoes of old Edo Japan right there under the modern streets. So the big question is, how does a place so steeped in history manage to thrive now without, losing its soul?
That's exactly what we're diving into. Kitasenju isn't just, another Tokyo neighborhood. It's like a living story. And it's especially relevant because 2025 is actually the 400th anniversary of Senju Shuku, its old post-town name from the Edo period. So our mission today is really to trace that journey, uncover some incredible historical tales, and point you towards those hidden gems that you might otherwise walk right past. Think of it as a shortcut to really getting this amazing part of Tokyo.
Love that mission. Okay, so let's start with those deep historical roots. Kitasenju wasn't just some minor stop. It was Senju Shuku, the first of Edo's four major post towns. These were essential hubs along the main roads set up way back in 1625. And its location was key, right? It was the first big stop leaving Edo on two major highways, the Nikko Kaido and the Oshu Kaido.
Exactly, the first big rest stop heading north out of the capital. Huge deal. And what's really cool is how its physical design reflected that importance. It has this distinctive fishbone street pattern that you can still sort of trace today.
Right.
It wasn't just for looks, it was super practical, making it a massive center for trade and logistics. At one point, it was actually the biggest of the four post towns. This layout, with the main road and smaller alleys branching off, it really defined its character, and still does.
Right, you can feel that when you walk around. Now, speaking of people passing through, Kitasenju has a connection to one of Japan's most famous poets, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A huge one. We're talking about Matsuo Basho, the haiku master. Picture this. It's 1689, Junoku 2 in the old calendar. Basho starts his legendary journey, Oku no Hosamichi, the narrow road to the deep north. Right here, he came by boat from Fukugawa, got off near the Senju Ohashi Bridge, and literally set off on foot from Kitasenju.
Wow! That's incredible. Must have been quite a moment for him.
Definitely. And he captured those mixed feelings, leaving Edo behind in a famous farewell haiku he wrote right there. Yuku haru ya tori naki uonome wa namida, which translates to something like, spring passing by, birds weep, fish's eyes are tears.
Spring passing by, birds weep, fish's eyes are tears. That's beautiful. So melancholy. Can you still, connect with that history today?
You absolutely can. There are Basho statues and monuments near Senju Ohashi Park and also at Senju Shrine. They're really nice spots to just pause and think about his journey.
That's a great hidden gem tip. Now, besides poets, Kitasenju also had this unexpected role in medical history, something about bone setting.
Yes. It's a really fascinating side story. The Nagura Clinic. It was founded by Nagura Yacchaba no Okada back in 1770. And get this, it's considered Japan's very first dedicated bone-setting clinic. Pretty specialized for the time.
The first one? Wow. Was it popular?
Immensely popular. There are records, I think, from the Taisho era showing it treated 630 patients in just one day.
630? In one day? That's staggering.
It really is. And that huge demand actually created this whole little ecosystem around it. Sort of like early medical tourism. Inns popped up nearby, maybe 3 or 4 of them, specifically to house patients who'd traveled a long way for treatment.
That's amazing. A specialized clinic driving local business like that.
Exactly. It shows how specialized skills could really shape a community, even back then. It turned this post town into an unlikely destination for healthcare.
And incredibly, that legacy lives on. You mentioned there are modern clinics like Senju Nagura Sasaki Sekatsuen that carry on that almost 300-year tradition.
That's right. It really speaks to that enduring artisan spirit you find in Kitasenju. Things get passed down.
Okay, let's shift to a slightly darker but really powerful part of the area's history, in Tsuji Temple and its connection to the Boshin War.
Right. This takes us to 1868, a really turbulent time in Japan as the samurai era was ending. After the Battle of Ueno, many defeated Shogutai soldiers, loyal to the old shogunate, were killed. They were declared enemies of the court, so officially, no one was supposed to bury them.
A grim situation.
Very. But the priesthood in Tsuji Temple did something incredibly compassionate and, frankly, quite brave. He defied the orders and secretly buried 266 of these fallen soldiers. A real act of humanity in the face of conflict.
That's incredible courage. And there's a physical reminder of that conflict at the temple.
Yes, the Black Gate, or Kuramon. It originally belonged to Kanneji Temple in Ueno, the site of the battle. It was moved to Tsuji, and you can still clearly see bullet holes scarring the wood.
Wow. Actual bullet holes from 1868.
It's a very direct very visceral connection to that fierce battle. Visiting Ensuji, seeing the gate, and even the graves of some key figures like Amano Hashiro, it's quite moving.
A definite must-see for history buffs. Now, there's another temple with a similarly poignant, maybe even sadder, history Jokoji temple.
Yes, Jokoji. It had this rather sorrowful nickname, Nutoshi, which means something like the thrown-in temple.
Thrown in? Why?
Because, tragically, it was the place where the unclaimed bodies of courtesans from the nearby Yoshiwara Pleasure District were brought. These women often died young, indebted, and without family to claim them. Jokoji became their final resting place.
That's heartbreaking, a hidden side of Edo life.
It truly is. And this role became especially pronounced after the devastating Ansei earthquake in 1855, which killed many in Yoshiwara. That led to the creation of the Shin Yoshiwara Sorinto monument there. And the inscription on its base is just incredibly powerful. It reads, "Born in the sorrowful world, died at Jokoji Temple."
Wow. Born in the sorrowful world, died at Jokoji Temple. That really hits hard.
It does. It's a stark reminder of the hardships faced by those women. The writer Nagai Kafu was apparently deeply moved by it and visited often, writing about their plight. Visiting the monument today is a very reflective experience, offering a window into a part of Tokyo's past that's often overlooked.
Definitely sounds like a place for quiet contemplation. Okay, after these heavier histories, let's lighten things up a bit and talk about food. Kitasenju was Edo's kitchen, right?
That's the reputation. It was home to the Yacchaba, one of Edo's 3 big produce markets. The name apparently came from the lively calls of the auctioneers, like Yacha, Yacha.
Huh, I can almost hear it. Does that market tradition continue?
It does, in the form of the Tokyo Central Wholesale Market, Adachi Market. And here's a great tip for you. It's way less crowded than the more famous Tsukiji Outer Market or Toyosu.
Oh, good to know. So more authentic, maybe.
I'd say so, yeah. You get a real feel for a working market. You can even do morning tours. And the best part, the little restaurants inside or nearby serve incredibly fresh and usually very affordable seafood bowls. Highly recommended for breakfast or lunch.
Okay, market breakfast is noted. What about just wandering the streets? Any particular shopping streets stand out?
Definitely. Start with Sun Road Shugabadori. That's Post Town Street.
Yeah.
It follows the path of the old Nikko Kaido. It's got this great mix of retro shops and newer places. Just great for a stroll.
Sounds charming.
And then dive into the smaller streets too. There's Irohadori, Nikko Shopping Street, and especially Yanagihara Shopping Street. Yanagihara feels almost like a village, really narrow lanes, super friendly vibe between locals and shopkeepers.
Okay, so if we're wandering Yanagihara or Sun Road, any specific must-try food spots, hidden gems?
Oh yeah, plenty. For a classic Kitasenju snack, you have to go to Kadoya. They make yari cake dango rice dumplings on a skewer, but they're uniquely flat and really soft. Delicious.
Clat dango. Interesting. What else?
Let's see. Chugawaya soba is great, not just for soba, but people rave about their oden, especially in cooler weather. For something sweet, Inoko Confectionery is a tiny place doing really elegant, beautiful little cakes. If you like to cook, pop into Sugimoto Saikaten. It's a greengrocer that's been there 75 years. The owner knows everything about vegetables and gives great advice. And for something more substantial, Sugawaya Diner is awesome. They were kind of ahead of the curve on the gourmet burger thing in Tokyo, and their sauces are fantastic.
Great tips. It sounds like you could spend a whole day just eating your way through Kitasenju.
You really could. And there are fish shops like Hiro's Senzagoten, known for sashimi, meat shops like Tokiwaya with amazing chashu pork. The list goes on.
Okay, beyond food, what about architecture, just quirky things to spot?
Well, there's the Yokoyama House. It's a beautifully preserved paper merchant's house from the Edo period. Gives you a real sense of old commercial life. And Senju Hajime Park is fun. It has recreations of old gates and signs, but then right next to them, this bright red octopus slide for kids. A real contrast.
Huh, love that mix.
And check out the Senju Street Station. It's the tourist info center now, but it's in a renovated old fishmonger's building. They kept some cool original features like the old cold storage room. Also, keep an eye out in Yanagihara's narrow alleys for kidengi, these old-style wooden streetlights with bare bulbs. Very atmospheric. Oh, and the Miyami Jizo-san statue people offer little eye-shaped plaques there because it's traditionally believed to cure eye problems. A unique local belief.
So much character. Let's shift now to sort of the community spirit and maybe some newer things happening. Kitasenju has a strong Sento public bath culture, right?
Oh, absolutely. It used to be called a hot springs battleground. Apparently, there are 36 public baths at its peak.
36. Wow.
Yeah, incredible density. Today there are 7 remaining, which is still quite a lot, and they keep that tradition alive. You've got famous ones like Takarayu, known as the King of Ingawa, because it has this lovely large wooden veranda to relax on, and Oyu, also called Daiwayu, which got a really stylish modern renovation a few years back, plus others like Minoyu and Maioryu.
It's amazing how that communal bathing culture persists. It must be a really important social hub.
Definitely. It speaks volumes about the value placed on those shared spaces in the community.
Another community anchor must be Senju Shrine. It has a really long history, doesn't it?
It does. Goes way back. Founded originally as an Inari shrine in 920 AD.
Yeah.
Then later, in 1279, it incorporated the Hikawa shrine, so it enshrined Susanoo Mikoto too. It's got a really interesting Ibisu statue, one of the 7 lucky gods. You can actually rub different parts of it and rotate it to make specific wishes. Very interactive.
Oh, fun. Like choosing your own blessing.
Exactly. And that connects to the Senju 7 Lucky Gods pilgrimage, which is a relatively newer thing. Started around the early 90s, I think, to kind of boost the area. It's a lovely walk. Also look for the Fujizuka Mound, a mini Mount Fuji for people who couldn't climb the real one, and the Kumaino guardian lion dog statues, said to protect kids.
So much packed into one shrine. Now, what about more modern community hubs? I heard about something called Kominkan.
Ah yes, Komenkan. It's a really cool project. It's what people sometimes call a third place, not home, not work, but somewhere else you belong. It started in an 80-year-old empty house that 2 local women, Kanami Mobuchi and Maki Ohashi, renovated themselves.
Wow, self-renovated. That's dedication.
Totally. And their philosophy is really interesting. It's meant to be a flexible space for, quote, inner learning and expression. Its purpose isn't fixed. It evolves. The name's a clever pun, too. Sounds like Kuminkan, public hall. But uses ko for common and mi for me or private. They have a photo studio upstairs, host breakfast gatherings called Asago Hankai. It's all about fostering these really natural, easy connections between people. A fantastic grassroots initiative.
That sounds like exactly the kind of place that makes a neighborhood special. Okay, one last thing for people visiting soon, especially with the 400th anniversary next year. There's some kind of treasure hunt.
Yes, perfect timing. It's called Explore and Find. Hidden Treasures of Senju Shuku.
Yeah.
It's a real-world treasure hunt running from September 12th to December 12th, 2025, celebrating that 400th anniversary.
How does it work?
Basically, you become the protagonist in a story. You follow clues and complete quests related to Senju's history, culture, food, visiting shops, solving puzzles, and you can win prizes. They mention things like a PlayStation 5 or hotel stays. It sounds like a really fun, interactive way to explore and learn about the area.
Definitely beats just reading a guidebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so wrapping this up, Kita Senju really seems to be this amazing blend, doesn't it? Deep history living alongside a vibrant present.
Absolutely. It embodies that Shitamaki spirit, that old downtown Tokyo feel, artisans, tight-knit community, real local heritage. Every corner seems to have a story. From Edo-era merchants and poets to modern cafes and community spaces. It all just fits together somehow.
So the takeaway for you, our listener, don't just rush through Kita Senju Station. Get out, wander those fishbone alleys, try the dango, visit a Sento, maybe even join that treasure hunt. It's a place that rewards exploration.
It really is. It's more than just sightseeing. It's about finding your own connection to this layered history and lively present. So the question we leave you with is, what stories are waiting for you in the timeless charm of Kita Senju?